The music was pumping, the lights shimmering, and a line to get into the city's most exclusive luxury club was long. Among the crowd stood a sharply dressed man, calm and confident, waiting for his turn. But when he stepped forward, the guard's demeanor shifted. Without hesitation, the man was turned away, the excuse vague but painfully familiar. Heads turned, whispers began, but the man walked away, his expression unreadable. What no one knew was that this wasn't the end of the story. Behind that calm exterior was someone who wouldn't let this moment define him. The next day he returned, this time not as a guest, but as someone who would leave everyone speechless. What happened inside would change everything. Stay tuned to discover how one moment of disrespect sparked an unforgettable act of justice. The following morning, the same man arrived at the luxury club, but this time he wasn't standing in line. Dressed impeccably, with an air of quiet authority, he stepped out of a sleek black car. The guard who had turned him away the night before recognized him immediately, his smug confidence now replaced with unease. But who was this man, really? To the outside world, he seemed like an ordinary individual, someone easy to dismiss. Yet beneath the surface, he was anything but. A self-made entrepreneur, he had spent years building his empire, overcoming challenges most people couldn't imagine. Word had spread quickly. Staff whispered among themselves, exchanging nervous glances as the man walked through the doors he'd been denied entry to. Whatever he was planning, it was clear. This wasn't just about revenge. It was about proving a point. As he entered the club, the atmosphere seemed to shift. The luxurious decor, the chandeliers sparkling above, and the carefully curated crowd now served as a backdrop to the quiet tension his presence created. The guard stood frozen by the entrance, unsure whether to speak or stay silent. Some guests noticed the exchange, their curiosity piqued by the man who walked in like he owned the place. Behind the scenes, the club's management was scrambling. A quick search of his name had revealed who he truly was, one of the wealthiest investors in the city, with connections that could make or break a business like theirs. Meanwhile, the man walked calmly through the crowd, observing the very space that had tried to shut him out. But he wasn't just here to make a statement. He had a plan, one that no one saw coming. The man made his way to the VIP section, where whispers followed him like shadows. Guests exchanged glances, unsure of who he was but sensing his importance. The club manager, visibly uneasy, rushed over, offering a forced smile and nervous small talk. The man remained calm, his words measured but carrying undeniable weight. He spoke quietly, requesting a meeting with the owner. The manager hesitated, stammering out an excuse, but the man's steady gaze left no room for debate. Moments later, the owner appeared, a polished figure whose confidence faltered as he recognized his unexpected guest. Meanwhile, the staff watched from the sidelines, the guard from the night before trying to blend into the background. The air was thick with tension as the man leaned in, his tone firm but composed. Whatever was about to unfold, everyone knew. It would change everything. The club owner led the man into a private lounge, away from prying eyes, and murmured speculation. The tension in the room was palpable as they sat across from each other. The owner's polished demeanor cracked further when the man pulled out a sleek folder and placed it on the table between them. Inside were documents, ones that revealed the man's latest acquisition, a controlling stake in the club. The room seemed to shrink as the realization hit the owner. This wasn't just a power move, it was a message. The man who had been turned away the night before now held the future of the entire establishment in his hands. But then, a twist no one saw coming. He didn't demand changes or retribution. Instead, he made an unexpected offer, one that left the owner stunned and the audience wondering what he was truly planning. The owner leaned forward, his voice shaky, as he asked what the man wanted. The man, calm as ever, looked him in the eye and said, "I'm not here to ruin you. I'm here to make this place better for everyone." His words hung in the air, surprising the owner, who had expected anger or demands. The man explained his vision: a luxury club that welcomed all, where exclusivity was defined by experience, not prejudice. He outlined plans to retrain staff, including the guard who had turned him away, and to create an atmosphere built on respect and inclusion. Just as the owner began to relax, believing he'd been spared, the man delivered the final twist. "But first," he said, rising from his seat, "you'll publicly announce my ownership and acknowledge the mistake you made." The owner froze, realizing his reckoning had arrived. The club owner sat frozen, staring at the man who now had the power to dictate the fate of his business. But instead of leveraging his position for revenge, the man leaned back, a calm smile crossing his face. "I'm not here to destroy what you've built," he said, his voice steady. "I'm here to improve it." His offer wasn't a hostile takeover, it was a partnership. He outlined plans to expand the club's reputation, making it a true symbol of inclusivity and luxury. The owner, still reeling, reluctantly agreed, knowing he had little choice, but realizing the brilliance of the proposal. But as they shook hands, the man glanced toward the door. The guard from the night before stood there, his face pale. Calmly, the man said, "You're free to stay, if you're ready to treat people the way you'd want to be treated."